Hey everyone, welcome to the Restorative Reading and Writing for Wellness podcast. I'm Stephanie, a book-loving, notebook-hoarding reader and writer on a mission to change lives one book and one notebook at a time. On this podcast, we explore the power of books and notebooks as tools for wellness. Reading and writing can help us feel better and make life better too, and I'll show you how I do it. You'll find episodes exploring the research behind reading and writing for wellness, practical strategies to embrace your own restorative reading and writing, and you'll meet authors and special guests who help us take inspired actions in our own daily practices too. So grab a notebook and your TBR list and let's dive into today's episode. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Restorative Reading and Writing for Wellness. I'm Stephanie Affinito, and I'm here to kick off a two-part series with you. This two-part series, starting today, is going to help you decide exactly what your reading and writing life need next in this season so that you can grow it into this beautiful, joyful practice that helps you feel better and make life better. This week, we are focusing on a fun reading self-assessment that I have created. Don't worry, you can do it while you're walking the dog or washing the dishes. Next week, I'm going to reveal the restorative writing decision tree that I've been working on to help you figure out which of the 8 kinds of restorative writing you need right now. And yes, I said 8. I know originally it was 6 and then it moved to 7, but as I keep exploring the research, I've found another category of writing that can really help us in our day-to-day life. And so I will reveal what that extra category is. So for today, we are going to start with reading. How do you know exactly what your reading life needs next? Now, you might be listening and think, I already know, Stephanie. I need more time to write, or I need to get better books that just speak to the season of life I'm in right now. You might already know exactly what you need, but sometimes we don't. Sometimes life gets busy and we get decision fatigue and we get into a rut, or we're just not quite as jazzed up about our reading as we could be. That's what I am here to help you with today. I have got your back in deciding exactly what you need right now to make reading feel really, really good so your life can feel really, really good too. Now, as I said, this is kind of a self-assessment, a self-reflection of sorts. You can do this while you're washing the dishes, walking the dog, and just think about what your results are in your head. But if you'd like, grab a cup of coffee, grab your notebook, sit down, and take some notes to jot down your answers if you would like to make it more of a full-bodied experience. But here's what I want you to know. I have this entire self-reflection tool already packaged into this beautiful PDF ready for you. All you have to do is go into the show notes and click on it. No email, no hoop to jump, just click. The PDF pops up and you can save it or you can print it. I'll have all of the suggestions for your reading life, depending on your answers to this self-reflection tool, in the show notes as well. So don't worry about trying to keep all of this in your head. It is going to be trackable. It's going to be easy for you to download so that you can make use of the data and get started right away. Okay, so let's go. How does it work? I am going to read to you a set of statements. And as I read each statement, you're either going to think in your head or say out loud or jot down on your notebook one of 3 answers. Yes, sometimes, or no. That's it. Okay, so I'm going to read statements and you're going to answer yes, sometimes, or no. Based on your answers, you're going to know exactly what your reading life needs next by paying attention to the sometimes and the no's, right? Celebrating the things that are already in place in your reading life with those yeses, and then knowing that those sometimes and no's are pointing to what you might need next to make reading feel even better. Okay, that's it. So let's get started. This self-assessment tool is based on my framework for building a literate identity. We need habits, we need hearts, and we need communities. So, in deciding what your reading life needs next, you're going to first figure out which one of those three things could be focused on more, indulged in more, just given a little bit more love. And from there, that's going to determine exactly what you need. So let's start by thinking about our reading habits. Here are the statements for you to consider. And remember, you're going to say yes, sometimes, or no. Here we go. I have a stack of books waiting to be read close by. I visit libraries and bookstores regularly. I have my favorite go-to sites for online book shopping. I use social media to learn about new books and resources. I always have a book within arm's reach to indulge in. I plan my schedule to consistently find time to read each day. I have strong readerly habits in place in my daily life. I have daily routines that promote reading. I have tripwires and reminders in place to read. I use a habit tracker to celebrate my reading each day. I listen to audiobooks at home or during car rides or commutes. I read books on a mobile device. I listen to podcasts and playlists that inspire more reading. I use technology to find my next book to read. I explore new book titles from publishers and book review sites. Okay, those are the 15 questions that help you decide if what your reading life needs next are stronger reading habits. If you found yourself saying a lot of sometimes or no's out loud, then focusing on your reading habit is a good suggestion for you. You want to do things like surround yourself with books, find just 6 minutes a day to get started and work your way up to a longer dose of reading. And you might consider exploring some new readerly practices. Now, I will go over 9 recommendations if reading habits are exactly what you need, but I want to finish the assessment before I give those suggestions to make sure the results you have really feel good for your reading life. So put a pin in reading habits and the amounts of sometimes and no's you have answered, and let's move on to reading hearts and see what our results are there. So here is another set of statements, and you're going to answer yes, sometimes, or no. Here we go. I know myself as a reader and identify as someone who reads. I honor my reading preferences. I read to explore my sense of self and views on the world. I choose books based on my own personal reading interests, my goals, and my wishes. I chart personal reading goals that fuel my reading life. I choose books to read based on my own interests, my dispositions, and my purpose for reading. I read wide awake and with an open heart to learn from the pages of a book. I read curiously to learn new information that I can apply to my own life. I respond to books in ways that are personally meaningful. I read books with characters that are different from each other. I choose books with diverse settings and plots. I regularly read books across multiple genres. I regularly choose books of different formats. I choose my next book to read using a wide variety of sources. So, how did you do? Are you mainly yeses? Are you mainly sometimes? Or are you mainly no's? If you found yourself saying sometimes or no out loud or jotting it down on your notebook, then considering actions to indulge your reading heart might be for you. Things like learning how to embrace your reading identity, finding passion and purpose in your reading life, and attempting to outgrow your reading life a bit by stepping outside your reading comfort zone to see what you might find there. Now, again, I will give you 9 recommendations if you feel like your reading heart is what you need to focus on next. But let's first self-assess in communities to decide if that's actually true for you. So, same drill, a bunch of statements, yes, sometimes, or no. Here we go. I display my reading life in visible ways to share with others. I use social media to claim my status as a reader. I am part of an online reading community like Goodreads or Storygraph. I track my reading so I'm better able to reflect on the messages it might be sending me. I regularly talk about the books I am reading with others. I seek book recommendations from a wide range of readers. I am a member of a book club and I participate in book studies. I participate in reading challenges to broaden my community of readers. I learn about authors' backstories to become more personally invested in their texts. I attend author and book events when I am able to. I use social media to connect with authors and illustrators. What do you got? Mainly yeses, mainly sometimes, maybe no. If you found yourself saying sometimes or no more often than not in this category, then your next move for your reading life could be to focus on making your reading life more visible to you and more visible to others so that you can use your reading life as a connection point. You might also focus on broadening your reading circles, who you talk books with, who you get book recommendations from. And you might step out of your comfort zone, take a leap, and connect with the authors and the illustrators you love as a way to motivate and spark some inspiration in your reading life. So now that you know the entire framework and have listened to the entire self-assessment, think for a moment about what your reading life needs next. You have your intuition. I want you to use that. Do you need to focus on your reading habits, your reading heart, or your reading communities? And you have data. Where did all of the sometimes and no's pop up? If those two things are the same, the data and your tuition, then there you go. You have your answer. If they are different, you might spend a little bit of time thinking about which thing your reading life needs next based on both of those things. Make a decision and go with it. But now what I want to do is give you 9 things to help you really grow into that aspect of your reading life, your reading habits, your hearts, or your communities, so that you can choose something by the time this podcast is complete and really run with it this week. So, if you found yourself needing to focus on your reading habits to get reading and stay reading, here are 9 things you might consider. And these 9 things are in no particular order. They are just my top 9 recommendations to build your reading habits. Number 1, build a TBR stack. Get a physical stack of books in your line of vision. I'd love if you take it a step further and make it a book apothecary with books that are absolutely perfect for you. But to start, build a visible TBR. Number 2, If you are on social media, I recommend filling your feed with books. Follow publishers, authors, illustrators, book bloggers, podcasters, YouTubers. You know where to find me. I'm at Affinito Lit on most of those social channels. Number 3, surround yourself with books. Keep one in your bag, next to the coffee maker, on the seat of your car. Whenever the mood or opportunity strikes, you will be ready, and they will act as tangible reminders to put those reading habits in place. Number 4, try habit stacking, right? Add reading to an existing habit. Read while you drink your coffee. Listen to a book while you walk the dog. You might be surprised how easy it is to add some form of reading to your day. Number 5, create a reading tripwire. A tripwire is basically just a tangible reminder to do something. So add a sticky note to your coffee maker in the morning to read. Leave a bookmark next to your television remote as a reminder that you have a choice. And maybe you even grab a bookish screensaver for your computer. Number 6, use a habit tracker. If this is motivating for you, grab a tracker and start shading in those boxes or ticking off those tally marks in order to have a visible celebration of your reading. I have my own personal habit tracker I've created. You can grab it in the show notes for free. No email required. Number 7, consider audiobooks. Now, audiobooks are really hard for me to focus on, but for you, it might be just the thing to open up an entire world of reading to you. Listen while you clean, you walk the dog, on your commute. It's an instant reading life booster if that is a medium that works for you. Number 8, push play on podcasts and playlists. There is bookish inspiration everywhere, people. Just go to your podcast platform, look for bookish shows, look for bookish YouTube channels. Don't watch them more than you read, but use them for inspiration. And then finally, number 9, this one's kind of cool. Rely on a bot or even AI for what to read next, right? Go to Goodreads for their recommendations for you. Storygraph have their recommendations. There's even a website called What Should I Read Next? It's not Modern Mrs. Darcy's podcast. It's an actual website where you type in a book that you've loved and it will give you some recommendations. Go to ChatGPT, tell them what you're looking for, and see what comes up. One of these 9 things could be just the thing you need to boost your reading habits. Don't overthink it. Just choose one if you know your reading habits need a little bit more love. Now, if your reading habits are already set, you have time to read, make time to read, and it is ingrained into your day, but you need to focus on your reading heart. Here are 9, in no particular order, suggestions for you. Number 1, honor your reading heart. Really take stock of what you love about reading and how you like to read best, and just do that and only that for a while and see what happens without thinking you have to read a certain book or in a certain way. Just honor your reading heart and your reading preferences. Number 2, read to explore your sense of self. What identities do you hold close? Right? Are you a parent, a teacher, a baker, a rummer? Read a book that embodies that identity to just reunite yourself with who you are and what your reading heart might enjoy. Number 3, set reading goals. Yes, this does help our reading hearts, even though it might feel counterintuitive, because when we choose a goal that means something to us, not something we think we should do, right? It means something to us, then it allows us to dig deeper and to really sink into that reading life. I don't recommend setting a goal around the number of books to read, although that may be your jam, and if it is, go there. But set goals around the kinds of genres you want to read, the format you want to read, the themes you might like to explore. Number 4, read with an open heart. Sometimes honoring our reading heart means just staying present in our reading. Lift those beautiful, powerful lines from the book you're reading, put them put a book dart on them, a sticky note on them, or save those quotes in a little notebook like I do and think about what messages they're trying to send. Number 5, make room to react to your reading. Maybe you take brief notes on a bookmark, maybe you have a notebook, maybe it's just a sticky note on the book, or maybe you actually write on the pages in an annotation practice. Number 6, live curiously through books. I love this one. Bring the book to life through technology, right? Go to Google. Find the location of the book on Google Maps. Search for images that the character is talking about and get a really good visualization in your mind. Browse YouTube for concepts and ideas that might be new to you but are mentioned in the book so that you can really embrace them. Number 7, imagine a bigger version of your reading self. If you're stuck in a rut, always reading the same thing, right? You can stretch that. So at first, I know I said just indulge in your own reading preferences and do that for a while. But after you indulge them, stretch them. Read a new genre, a new format, a new author, a new topic, and just see how you feel. Number 8, create a reading staircase. So I love this analogy. Basically, it means choose the next book you're going to read based on something you liked about the last one. So you're honoring those reading preferences, but you're taking one little small step based on what your reading heart loved, and then keep doing it again and again and again and see how far you go up that staircase. And then finally, number 9, crowdsource your collections. Ask your friends, your family, your coworkers, anybody for a book recommendation. Go online, browse book lists, look at websites, listen to podcasts. Get introduced to new books that might fuel your reading heart in new ways that you haven't realized yet. Okay, we've got one more category to go. We've talked about habits, we've talked about hearts, but maybe you're sometimes in nose and your gut was telling you you need a reading community. Okay, here's what you can do. Number 1, go public with your book stacks. Maybe you take a picture of your TBR stack. Maybe you snap a picture of your bookshelf of books you've already read and just post and say, hey, here's a little bit about me as a reader. Who wants to connect? Right? Just start conversations about the book you're reading. You might be surprised at how many connections that brings. Number 2, more intentionally connect with readers online. Create a Goodreads account, create a Storygraph account, or whatever other site appeals to you. Start connecting with people there. Number 3, analyze your reading life. You can't connect with others around your reading life unless you actually track it and think about it and intentionally have something to share. So you can go online and you can find the ways that I track my reading life. I use my bookish spreadsheet, but however you track it, take some time to analyze it and see what messages it might be telling you, and then share those messages with a community of your choice. Number 4, this one is simple but powerful. Ask others what they're reading. Just go right up to them and say, hey, what are you reading lately? Friends, family, colleagues, even strangers in line at the grocery store. If you are so brave, I guarantee that you will get some good titles for your TBR stack and your book apothecary. You'll have some great conversations too. Number 5, connect with reading partners. What's better than one reader? 2 readers and more. Just find a reading buddy. Your bookish bestie. Text about the books, call about the books, voice message about books, can be in person or online. Just find someone that you enjoy talking books with, and I guarantee that will do a great deal for your reading life. Now, if you want to go a little bit deeper, a little bit more complicated, but oh so fun, start a book relay. Gather a group of small friends. Each of you choose a book that they think the others need to read. Set a time frame to read it in, and then at the end of that time frame, pass the book forward. Switch the books and do it again and again and again until everybody in the group has read the book. And ideally, mark your reading and your annotation and your open mind thinking in some way on the book. And then when your original book comes back to you, It is quite the amazing feeling to see all of the readers who have shared the book with you and left pieces of themselves on the page. It's one of my favorite things to do. Number 7, a way you might not think broadens your reading community is to get inspired by the author's backstories. Just Google your favorite author and learn more about them. Browse their backlist, get another set of books that you could read, get a sense of who they are. And then here's the part that really boosts the community. Get brave. Reach out on social media or in some way. Let them know you're reading their books, that you love their books, that you're enjoying their books. I promise you, every time I have done this, even if authors are too busy to respond, they know it, they feel it, they appreciate it. And getting that little like on your comment to an author, it's its own special kind of high. Number 8, seek out author events. I mean, what better way is there to broaden your reading community than attending bookish events with others? Could be in person, could be online too. Just make a plan to attend. And if this is something you really want to lean into, you might like my bookish punch cards. Those are these little cards that look like index cards, and there's a spot to literally hole punch how many bookstores you visited, how many libraries you visited. You can find that in my Substack community. It's free if you are there, and it's only $5 a month to be there. You might want some of those punch cards to really boost your reading community. And then finally, number 9, connect on social media, not just to share what you're reading, not just to connect with authors, but seek out publishers, book bloggers, podcasters, YouTubers. Fill your feed with bookish goodness, right? There is so much in the world that is clogging our feed and is likely bringing us down, and watching the news is for that. But your social media feed in 30 to 60 seconds, that can either make you feel really good or really bad. Fill your feed with bookish goodness. Feel really good, and then start connecting with others as well. Okay, whew, there you have it. Your self-assessment, your self-reflection on what your reading life needs next, habits, hearts, or communities, and 9 suggestions for you to choose from so that you can get started. Remember, there is a PDF of this exact assessment waiting for you in the show notes. All you have to do is click it, no email required. And all 9 of the suggestions for each of the 3 areas, so all 27 things I talked about today, they are listed in the show notes for this episode. No need to remember them or stress out about which one you need next. Go to the show notes, browse it, pick one, and start making a joyful reading life. Now, I, of course, would love to know which aspect of my framework you need next. Habits, hearts, or communities, and which of these ideas you want to try. So reach out. Find me on social media at AfinitoLit. You can comment on the post for this episode. You can head there and send me a DM. Send me an email, an audio message, whatever you prefer. But remember, my Substack community is here for you too. If you really want to lean in to a beautiful, joyful reading life that impacts your actual one in 2026, for just $5 a month, you can get extra episodes to keep your reading life and your writing life front and central. And you're going to get just the most beautiful community of bookish people that I think is on the internet. So you'll find the link for that in the show notes as well. I am looking forward to next week because while this week we have focused on exactly what your reading life needs, next week we are going to take a look at your writing life and figure out exactly what kind of writing or journaling or notebooking you need to get rid of that kind of decision fatigue that might show up on the page. So stay tuned for that episode, and I will see you next week. Thanks for listening to today's episode of the Restorative Reading and Writing for Wellness podcast. You'll find links to all of the books, resources, and ideas mentioned in the show notes and at alitlife.com. And if you want more, you might like to join my Get Literate Substack community. There, you'll find additional inspiration for your reading and writing life, like bonus podcast episodes, book calendars, monthly book clubs, notebooking inspiration, live events, giveaways, and much more. It's only $5 a month, and you get instant access to all of the previous content too. You can learn more at getliterate.co. But there's one more thing. If you love what you listened to today, please take a moment to rate and review the podcast, or take a screenshot of the episode and text it to a friend. This helps the podcast grow and builds our bookish and notebookish community too. Thanks for listening, everyone.